At the end of the day, alternative sexual behavior and orientations among many members of the animal kingdom, including humans, are a repeatably observed fact which you have yet to deny, let alone support your position on.
I've posted yet another source from Wired Science, also exposing scientists for oversimplifying the so-called homosexuality in animals instead of keeping an open mind as to why these actions are being made. Like, and I quote, "Male dungflies are believed to mate with other males simply to occupy their time, thus denying them a chance to reproduce. Small male goody fishes camouflage themselves as female and mate with female while males pursue them. And young fruit flies seem to do better at heterosexual mating once they've had some same-sex practice. Some of these are things that were addressed also in the National Geographic thing.
It's called an article.
Therefore, the meat of my entire argument is that if these animals are homosexual, why then are they mating with females? It doesn't make sense.
So I take it then you're not against homosexual sex, you're just against homosexuality. So if a bunch of humans were bisexual and decided to get married to the same sex but while being bisexual, that would be okay? I doubt that's the position you actually hold.
Also, he oversimplifies that the author of the book Biological Exuberance spent 10 years studying these animals.
You fail to explain how my point was an oversimplification.
He's a professional, huh? You know what else professionals did? Professionals built the Titanic, but amateurs built the Ark. So the fact that he spent 10 years out there doesn't mean anything, because there could have been somebody who spent 5 years out there and came up with a completely different thing and got that right. So what? Your flat denial of a qualified individual's assessment having considerably more weight over that of an unqualified amateur is the only form of mental gymnastics that could explain why you think you are dominating this subject. Additionally, your example of the Titanic versus the Ark is further evidence that your argument is religiously based and should not have been part of any secular case for or against anything. Furthermore, can you provide evidence that this Ark ever existed or that there was ever a global flood? You didn't, and you can't. The next point that is attempted to be made includes misquotes. He states that I say animals have no morals. Survey says, let's roll that beautiful footage.
Animals lack advanced logic, reasoning, and morals.
It is here that we can see I said animals lack advanced logic, reasoning, and morals, not logic, reasoning, morals, and overall that they lack. They lack advanced logic, reasoning, and morals.
Forgive me. I thought you said advanced logical reasoning and morals, where you have now clarified that what you meant to say was advanced logical reasoning and advanced morals. The admission that animals have any morals at all is new for a creationist, especially one who so passionately tries to make the case for human separation from the animal kingdom by God.
So, then he proceeds to throw out a fat straw man and a red herring by claiming that just like animals, humans eat their young, kill their leader, take his position, and commit what? They commit rape and murder? That's not what I said. Let's roll that footage again.
They commit acceptable rape and murder.
So here we see I said they commit acceptable rape and murder, which is unacceptable for us. That is the reason why we have punishment for that.
Again, I must ask your forgiveness. I was under the impression that no rape or murder was ever acceptable.
Let's note that animals killing their young is common and an everyday thing for the animal kingdom.
Could you provide evidence to support your claim that eating their young is common? And more importantly, can you define how common this practice allegedly is? Eating their young is counterproductive to evolutionary success, and the most common cases of animals which eat their own young occur in certain solitary predators, such as great white sharks, who eat their young to survive, usually because no other food is around, and the fastest youths who survive to adulthood strengthens the gene pool.
So also is rape and murder, which is acceptable there, but not for us. And lastly, killing our leader to take his position,
This is a component in the animal kingdom which is not common nor acceptable by our standards, especially in today's time.
So you admit that different time periods each have their own type of morality or their own set of standards? Does this not put your belief that morality is objective in jeopardy?
This cat's failed logic is killing me.
You seem healthy enough to me.
After he fails on those points, he then tries another failed ad hominem attack on the Christians as a whole, stating we lack these moral standards when the teachings of Christ explicitly stand against rape, murder, and any kind of violence. Sorry, you fail.
Sorry, you fail. You again misquote me. I did not attack Christians for not following what Jesus said. I stated my case in regards to all humans, that your claims that we are higher beings created in the image of God and therefore above the immorality of the animal kingdom is clearly debunked by the daily evening news.
Next is yet another misquote. He states, I say animals don't feel love, and even if they do, it's especially not at the level humans do. Roll that footage.
Animals don't feel love like we as humans do. The so-called homosexual activity is not a lifetime event, yet an isolated event from a cause was an effect. They are heterosexual, and their desire to reproduce is never overridden.
I am so sick of playing clips back because this cat's failure to quote right.
You claim again that I misquoted you concerning animal love, yet the quote is, animals do not love as we do, which was the crux of my response. I said that you claim that animals do not love, or especially not at the level we do. I again misunderstood you and tried to cover my bases, and in turn you claim that I misquote you, when my point does indeed address your claim that animals do not feel love as humans do.
Anyway, now he then attempts to make a point by saying animals surpass humans in monogamy by leaving out a ton of information, and I quote from Softpedia, monogamy is so rare in the animal world that only 3 to 5% of mammals are known to form lifelong pair bonds. Very quickly, from this point, notice how Mike Libertarian only said mammals. Notice how he leaves out all the rest of the animal kingdom. And the source also says mammals only too. What does that leave us with? It leaves us with even more of trickery that he tries to use by leaving out that much more information. But let's continue.
Excuse me, but you failed to address my point. I submitted that 3% of mammals practice complete monogamy and that humans were not part of that group, that therefore we have a case in which animals practice a greater level of morality than most humans have demonstrated. The only response you can level at me is that I did not include the entire animal kingdom in my assessment, therefore I must be using some kind of trickery. The behavior of other animals outside the 3% of mammals I cited will not change the fact that humans are not the most moral creatures when it comes to monogamy. It would appear any trickery is yours.
Like beavers, otters, jackals, foxes, some bats, and a few dwarf deer and antelopes. In fact, strict monogamy is almost inexistent as creatures do their pair for life, or as creatures that do pair for life occasionally have flings on the side.
Thank you for doing some of the additional reading I requested of you, because I already knew this. Complete monogamy is rare, and more rare in humans than several other species of mammals. My point still stands.
And some, like the wolf, do not mourn too much a death or no longer sexually performing partner. Staying faithful is extremely hard for animals,
as well as humans,
as the male are programmed to spread their genes and female to get the best genes from the best males for their young.
As is also the case with humans.
He also leaves out the fact that there is considered to be 3 types of monogamy.
You say that as if I left out this minor detail for surreptitious reasons. Oh yeah, you're in the middle of accusing me of trickery. Alright, continue.